welcome to everyone for yet another episode on AIFF TV, from wherein we need to be thanking all of you, friends, followers, and fans for the wonderful support which you have been giving us, and it has only been helping to take Indian football forward together. Thanks for all the feedback, all your suggestions. We value them a lot and do keep them flowing. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with an entirely different dimension. Dimension in the sense that we have two special guests who are related to the sport but are not players, but an extremely significant part of football, not just in India but worldwide. My privilege to be welcoming Mr. Ravishankar, the Director Referees at the All India Football Federation, himself a former FIFA panel referee, a referee assessor, and a match commissioner for the last 17 years. Ravi sir, thank you for joining us.
Morning, Nilanjan. Thanks for the invite. Let me first thank all the fans who are following us, trying to take football further ahead in India and abroad. It's been a great pleasure to be joining you all and appraising you of the facts regarding refereeing and how they make efforts to make the match more interesting, worthwhile watching, and what is their contribution to that.
Definitely, I believe each and every one are looking forward to this episode and to this talk. And the pleasure is entirely ours to have both of you. And obviously, I did introduce you, but I also need to introduce my dear friend, Mr. Arumughan Rowan, a current referee from the FIFA panel who has supervised many matches with much repute. One of the flag bearers, a very important stakeholder as far as refereeing in India is concerned. Mr. Rowan, thank you for joining us. Delighted to have you amongst us.
Yeah, greetings, hearty greetings first of all, Nilanjan, and thank you very much for the invite. I'm eagerly looking for this interview. Let's get started then. Thank you very much for the invitation again.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is entirely ours. Ravi sir, if I can come to you first. You very few are aware that you have been a FIFA panel referee in your younger days. So how many years into refereeing now? Over 40 years, I believe so.
If you take into refereeing, I became a category 5 now referee in 1978, graduated to a national referee in 87, into the FIFA panel in 95 till 99. Then after being FIFA referee, continued as a national referee till I retired in 2003. I can say 25 years successful refereeing. No any major issues during the games, and had the highlight of retiring on the day when I won East Bengal match or the AIFF in 2003.
That's lovely. I'll be coming to that with the Kolkata Derby, a retirement for a referee. 78, you started your career. I was just born, in fact, at the time, some years prior to that. How much, Ravi sir, has refereeing in India changed since you were a referee? Or refereeing as a whole has changed since you were a referee?
See, Nilanjan, the world over, we have seen technology developing. Right now, without doing matches, we are on online teaching people. In our days, probably, there were a few matches early which were telecast live. Maybe it started around 96, 97 when the National League or the league took over. Many matches started coming with ESPN, Star Sports coming in. They started it being live. But again, technology has taken over things. The thing what we lacked during our time was we could hardly get to see our own matches. Probably now on YouTube, I'm able to see my matches of, you can see 96, 97, and all. Some people have been nice enough to upload it. But again, like improvement is always, you can say self-analysis. Probably the refereeing now is more apt because they get the feedback. And the moment they complete the match, come into the dressing room, within 1 hour, they are able to see their own matches back on YouTube. And if you can know, if somebody can improve on his own analysis, that can be the best thing for the development of the referee. And I believe that is the main difference between what we were doing and what the referees are doing. Definitely there are instructors and assessors to assess them, but to prove their point and to prove the referee's point, they need to show the video as a reference point. In our times, maybe our seniors talked and we had to agree to them because it is 1 versus 1, and they were sitting in the stand reviewing, and we were, I mean, lucky, unlucky not to have video recordings of our matches.
Coming to you, Mr. Rowan, lucky to have the video referrals in the sense, the analysis which a referee, modern day referee can do after a match.
The best way to improve is to visualize our own performance and analyze where we are, right? So if there is any proof that can be given in front of us, then that is the best possible thing. Suppose we are not in good terms, you become my instructor, I do something correct and you pinpoint the other way around, which I don't agree personally. And whereas you have the visuals, you have exactly what, if it is black, it is black, it is white, it is white. We have to agree to it. So visuals always help the referee to improve, to analyze himself. And what went wrong, where went wrong, why it went wrong. You get a solution by analyzing those things. So visual clips are always better for the referee. So there is no hiding anything. I am your favorite, I'm not your favorite, that doesn't come in the picture. So what is there? That is there.
I'm not capable enough to be your instructor because whenever I watch a football match, I go up to Ravi sir, quarrel with him a bit. I say, Ravi sir, oh, this was this. And then he comes up, explains it to me. And then I say, okay, I put up my hand. No, I was wrong. So it happens each and every day when we speak. Mr. Rowan, staying with you, do referees also need to study? Are you also students? Or you just go on, wear the black, carry the whistle and step onto the ground? What is it?
Gone are those days, Niranjan, when the referees used to come and then just wear the jersey and start officiating. These days, that is not at all possible. I remember when 20 or 22 years ago, before in Delhi, when the Durand Cup used to happen, there were referees who used to come straight from office, officiate the first match, go back to office. Those days, 25 years, around 2 decades before. But now, that is not at all possible, because you need to invest time for your performance, because referees are perform oriented these days. Okay. And moreover, when you have to invest time, you need to study as well, because there are amendments coming up every year. We need to get updated. Right. So once we don't update, we stick to the old laws and then officiate in the present game. That is not going to work, because the laws have changed. We have to study the new laws. We have to understand. We have to interrupt. We have to think. We have to act. So this all comes under studying, and studying never ends. Learning never ends. That is the thing. So after all, no matter what the age is, studying will be keep on going. Once after refereeing, you could become an instructor. Still, you have to study, because there are definitely, for sure, there is going to be amendments, because there are many situations in the present games where we need to amend the laws, thinking, understanding football, or expectations from football. So future also, there are going to be amendments for sure, and we need to learn, we need to get updated, we need to interpret it correctly so that we can implement on the field also correctly. That is the thing. So studying never stops, learning never ends.
Think, interpret and implement. Yeah, Ravi sir, please carry on.
This is also a fact what he's saying. Like 25 years back, I also used to, take half day off or come back from office if there is an important work, tell them I've got a man, go do local match or the matches, come back to office. But this can hardly happen nowadays, because a lot of concentration, lot of full commitment is required. And like Rowan said about refereeing education for the referees, even the instructors are on the toes, because we always try and ensure that the instructors are updated on the laws of the game, because he has to correct or he has to teach the referees. It's like a relation between a teacher and a student. Obviously, a teacher is supposed to be more learned than the student on the laws of the game.
Definite study material and getting yourself upgraded all throughout. Ravi sir, during the COVID pandemic situation, even as the entire world was shut down, we thought that the general layman will be thinking, oh, the referees development also hit a roadblock. But there are not many initiatives which were done from your side, from the Indian Football Federation side, conducted by the AIFF or Indian Football. Could you educate us about them? What went through, what were done, what was done?
Nilajanda, everybody knows when we got about 22 matches left in the I-League, it got stopped on March 14th or 15th. And the last ISL match was played on March 15th. last year championship match. And from 22nd, we went into the lockdown mode. Actually, we were stuck. We had so many tournaments in the pipeline, all programs, everything got because of the lockdown by the government, and cost were, I mean, worthy not. But then around the first week of April, we thought we cannot remain idle. A lot of brains was put into it, and we got into, there were so many, I mean, even though the Zoom might have been there before, there were so many devices where we could go in, conduct a meeting. Then around April 6th or 7th, we started to get in touch, I mean, get into Zoom, started initially a training for 15-20, just were trying to work out how it is. But once we took it over on the April 10th or something, till date, we have had about roughly about 170, 180 to 190 courses done. Courses in the sense, there were about sessions for the active referees, the national referees, and we have got a batch of PFI junior referees. We got classes for them. Then we got classes for instructor. We got referees, I mean, classes for the women referees. Then to going down the line, we had classes on alternate days for the category batch of 19 and 20 PFI batch referees. So if you say, and this is the time, if you see April or May is the time when the amendment of the laws of the game come out, start getting applicable from June 1. FIFA gave an exception this year to continue with the last laws also if the tournament required. But from June 1st, we started our amendment class. It's a big list of amendment this year which has come in. And we made it a point that everybody is going to start matches, or whether he does immediately or not, is aware of what the amendments were done. In fact, even now when the ISL is on, the referees are in quarantine. Daily, we have a classes of 2 hours theory for them and 1 hour practical test for them. And the Zoom and the meetings, virtual meetings have been so effective that we have about 4 to 5 FIFA MA courses happening every year in India at a particular venue. But this year we have had 6 courses from FIFA, wherein instructors from FIFA instructors took our lectures for 3, 4, 5 days continuously for a period of 6 hours a day, where we could all be taught about the amendments, refresh about the laws of the game. Then to make it more interesting, how we started in April was, we used to have trivia test on the laws of the game every alternate days in the evening between 8 and 8:15. I would really appreciate the referee and the referee assessor. They used to wait for the 8 o'clock thing for the online activity to go on. We had about almost 40 to 50 tests happening alternate days. Rowan can help out from his angle, from the referees, if I have missed out on some things here.
No, definitely, I'll be coming to him. Those trivia tests, we were also part of it. A couple of them, I remember. 8 p.m.
Yeah.
8 p.m. We used to wait for it. Rowan, coming to you, stuck up at homes, unable to move outside, the new normal which we all are facing, still kind of facing. Was all of that what Ravi sir said helpful? How much was it helpful, if at all?
Definitely, yeah, of course, definitely, Rajendra. Because initially, when the lockdown was declared, the first 2 weeks was idle. I mean, like we didn't have nothing to do. All the plans which were scheduled was cut off totally. So 2 weeks initially, we were at the home doing nothing. Then we got a mail from the referees department, okay, saying that you will be engaged thrice a day with 2 trivia and 1 video test every alternate day. That means in a week you have 2 trivia tests and 1 video test. So these video clips would be given to us by evening 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. the link opens for us to give our test. The same way the trivia test starts at 8, 15 minutes, 20 questions, right? The maximum is 15 minutes. You need to appear and the scores will come out immediately. So it was like time slot, time span is very less. We have to concentrate because sometimes there are technical issues as well, internet issues. Sometimes you are not able to. So at that time, considering the request, they used to extend 3-4 minutes or 5 minutes max. but still the referees had to perform within the given time slot. And after the amendment came out, especially from the June, because the amendments were discussed by midway of May, so that everyone get to used to this. So when the amendment of the laws came, it was like practically challenging for the referees, especially the handball, which were given like it was extended till the armpit, not armpit. Some video clips and all, you don't believe it is really, even technology, I think it is very difficult for the technology to assess those kind of handballs. So such clippings were given, and giving answers to that video clips within a given time was very challenging. So maybe like Ravi sir said, almost every week 8 p.m. we were on the toes test, and then he arranged. Ravi sir also arranged fitness sessions online, which was very new, because I've been in FIFA panel for 10 years. I've never done fitness online, to be honest. Okay, so he roped in FIFA fitness instructor Ganeshan Maniam from Singapore, who had been to many World Cups training the referees. He came for 4 days as FIFA fitness course. Okay, and then it was new because he demonstrating on the screen, we performing on the floor, indoor. That was a new kind of training. And it was
So
like really, because we have aerobic.
So this fitness training was being done simultaneously, demonstration and the referees
Yes,
doing it at the same time.
1 hour, evening 3:30 to 4:30. Instructor was online. All our referees were online in front of the screen, demonstrating our physical abilities. Given time, 1 hour. But in those 1 hour, we used to like sweat out and then lie down, finish. Okay, so these type of new activities which came online, now everything is virtually online. So even fitness, I hope someday we get online to officiate to become online referees as well.
The online referees as well in the near future. Maybe that becomes the new normal. Well said, Mr. Rowan, on that. Mr. Ravi sir, the referees are the students. Everyone is a student in life, but the teachers, the instructors which are coming in, there's huge help from the FIFA and the Asian Football Confederation, isn't it?
Yes. I think they are also committed. Actually, the FIFA instructors, the fitness instructors, for the last 4-5 years have been coming regularly for us for our MA courses. So they are more known to the referees also. They know everybody's condition. And when they programmed this session, it was rather this one to see that they are also working in front of the screen, and they used to share the exercises in the morning, so that they are all familiar with the pattern which is going to be followed. Everybody was online following them. Ganesh Maniam was there from Singapore and Ravi Chandran from Malaysia. And for the theory classes, we had the AFC instructor Farkad from Uzbekistan having our classes. Then we had a futsal instructor coming in from Iran. They also took classes. For the women, we had a woman Asian instructor from Japan who took classes. So the thing is, everybody is now familiar, and it has changed our outlook to training. Maybe definitely it cannot match the practical or the personal attention we are in the open. But now the thing is, you don't have to see the season or a venue for it. You can do it online. Maybe if you had a 5-day session outside, maybe do 5-day inside, and 1 or 2 days we meet where we can do these things in person in open. But definitely one thing lacking during the COVID was, because the matches were all over the world stopped, except for the Champions League in Doha, where Rowan was a member there, for the matches there for the 20 days on the AFC Champions League best there. But then the first tournament to start, or the first sporting event in India, was the I-League qualifiers, which happened in Calcutta, and which went on successfully, even though the matches were only 10. But we learned how to live in a bubble for 10 days, do the matches for 10 days.
I'll be coming to Rowan in a bit about life in COVID bubble for a referee. That's quite a new kind of an education for everyone. We have spoken about players, we have spoken about coaches. For the referees, I'll come to you in a later question, Rowan, to you. on that. But Ravi sir,
Okay.
there's a generic question which we receive each and every day. People keep on asking, and you are the best gentleman to answer it. What does it take to become a referee? How does one become a referee? This is a generic question which is prevalent all over.
See, refereeing, if you ask for first, my personal answer is probably I had refereeing in my blood when I took over because my father was an ex-FIFA referee. And my family had 5 referees. I mean, my uncle was a FIFA referee and all. But the thing is, you should have some spark in you. Maybe the spark happened because I was definitely interested in football. Maybe I could reach playing level only up to the university. So probably I took over to refereeing. And more so now the referees are taking up at a younger age, which gives them more chances to develop further, more chances to learn further. But the basic thing in a referee, what everybody, including Rowan, would agree is the honesty and the integrity. Without that, you cannot even imagine or dream to become a referee because the mistakes can happen. But if you're honest enough to accept it after the game to your instructor or your colleagues, is fine. But even otherwise, integrity is of what most value to become a referee. There should not be even a 1% doubt on anybody's integrity. And again, once you qualify to be a Cat 5 referee, your commitment, your attitude towards this, and how you maintain your fitness. Obviously, when it comes into fitness, then your diet, your habits, everything count into it. But the major aspect of a developing referee is the sacrifice. Most of us, even now, Rowan would admit, even now, we have never seen our children grow. It's a sacrifice of your family. They take care of the children. You move about doing matches. We have never had, you can say, Diwali. We never celebrate birthdays. Maybe in the gang, luckily enough, my birthday falls in a December, so we have an event going on. So somewhere we celebrate our birthdays. And the sacrifice, you would, if you see most of the referees, they don't, get time to attend even the family weddings. That is how much sacrifice one needs to give to develop. Because the moment you are given a chance, you give a reason for a Diwali or a wedding coming in, obviously somebody else takes the chance over there. So the referee needs to be committed in the sense he has to miss out on so many things. But once he is established, then he gets a leeway sometimes. Definitely, immediate family, we give them release or we give them this one. And their attitude to learn is the biggest thing. Every day, even now, Rowan learns so many things out of the game. And every day, a new thing you learn. So your aptitude to learn also is one of the key factors. And accepting your faults. You may argue, but ultimately, there can be no two decisions on a FOP. It has to be one. Either you're right or you're wrong. 95% of the time, they are right. But when they're wrong, they need to accept it so that the same thing is not repeated. And it is always safe when you watch others' matches and learn from others' mistakes rather than learn from your mistakes. It gives you more, you are just relieved of your thought that you did not commit the mistake.
Exactly. Very well said and very well put, Ravi sir. Staying with you, Ravi sir, on a question you mentioned about integrity. Obviously, that's one of the most paramount substances in the life of everyone involved with football. But if anything is any approach or anything happens, what does a referee do? What is he expected or what is he taught to do for the education of everyone? If you could let everyone know.
To put it openly now, last 4 5 years, maybe before that also, there has been stress on it everywhere. Even AFC and FIFA has gone into it. They've got a separate integrity officers. They keep track of matches, various angles from there. But our referees are always told, if you have an inkling anybody is approaching you, anybody, a player, a team official, XYZ, and for that matter, we tell them also, most of them, at least my wife would not know what match I am going to. They know what venue I go to, they don't know the what match. See, the AFC also takes a lecture in their seminars on integrity topics. We also try following it up for our matches or a centralized tournament. We have a integrity officer helping us on it. But they definitely give a outfeed them, the referees, to say how the approach comes. Sometimes the referees are too young or too naive to understand an approach. But we have always advising the referees, if there is any approach, immediately inform the referee assessor there or the match commissioner. Maybe they have gone through the process, they know how to handle the situation. But definitely, after taking over as a director, I have never had any of the referees informing me, even though I've given them open blank check to call me 24/7.
Yeah, they definitely will if anyone approaches, because that's a question which keeps cropping up. People, football fans rather, always keep on asking that question. Thank you, Ravisa, for that clarification and educating all of us. Mr. Rowan, moving to you. How does a referee prepare for a match? Means, how do you prepare for a match? Do you meditate? Are there any specific exercises? These are also fan questions which come up. How does a referee prepare for a match?
Meditation is just one part, one aspect of preparation, right? Because by meditating, you keep your focus through what is to be done, what is not to be done. Because meditation can improve your concentration. That is the one thing. So that is just one aspect. But there are many other aspects as well which are required for match preparation. One thing, the priority, the first and foremost, is the fitness. Okay, so the referee has to maintain his fitness throughout the year. There is no any off season. Okay, round the year, anytime he's called up for a fitness test or fitness check, he has to be ready for that. Suppose, can you imagine a person who is not very fit, but he has all other aspects like knowledge, everything. What is the use of putting him inside the field of play to officiate a match? Does anyone accept that? No, no one accepts. So priority is fitness, because before any championship or any tournament, before appointment, there is a fitness check or fitness test to be conducted, and only clearing that barrier will help a referee take his stand on the panel. Okay, so priority, the foremost important is the fitness. Second comes the knowledge, loss of the game, updated, everything. Okay, we can suppose a referee is very fit, but he's not updated with the loss of the game knowledge, or is not aware of the loss of the game. Is there any use putting him as a referee? And does we accept his decisions? No. So no, loss of the game. Okay. The third thing is the teamwork. We as a team, when we go to officiate, me, my assistant referees, my fourth official, if they're additional assistant referees, we as a team will work together to come through a situation successfully, to come out of the match successfully. So we need to perform as a team. Okay, we help them, they help us. That is the way we work out, because without team we cannot succeed in life. Not only in refereeing, in all other aspects as well. If you want an organization to function, we need to function as a team. That is the thing. Okay, and the fourth aspect, what I consider, is the information about the teams. Okay, information about the players, information about the team, the skillful player, the naughty player.
It's an impulsive reaction when a match goes on.
Yes, exactly.
Mr. Rowan, people obviously speak about the diet of players. A lot is talked about, but a referee perhaps runs the most in a match and needs to be absolute in top fitness each and every time. What is the diet of a referee like? Could you educate us? We know about the diet of the players. Is it something to be avoided? What is the diet of a referee?
Actually, when we consider, players have substitutes, referees don't have substitute. So we have to be extra careful than the players to be fit on the field, because once you are substituted, you will be last in the panel again. It is very difficult for you to come up. So when you have to be super fit, you need to sacrifice a lot, as Ravishankar said before, from the family and from the diet part as well. You need to be much more disciplined, right? So what I follow is, I generally avoid oil food, fried items. Okay. Normally sugar, I consume less sugar, and I try to avoid maximum the fried food. I use a lot of carbohydrates and proteins. So, and I keep myself hydrated throughout. Okay, so this is the most difficult part a human being has to, not only a human being, a referee has to follow, the diet. Okay, because sometimes you feel tempted, because when you walk along the street, you smell, you have a fragrance of the pakoras or the chili chickens or something that is especially street food, right? Pani puri, these things and all. You can, that is easy to get. Vada pav, when you're in Bombay, people say you're a fool when you don't taste vada pav in Mumbai. That is obvious, true. But sometimes if we take that oil, sometimes it is very difficult for us. I mean, small quantities, they say it's okay. But over a period of time, small habits continue and become what you say, it became a die-hard habit not to give up. Because some foods are I'm very fond of vada pav. If I start one, I cannot stop with one. Right? That is the thing. So, and it is easy for me not to consume, but if I start, it's very difficult for me to stop. So I stretch for 8 to 9. So it's better not to take. So I stop. Yeah.
It's so easy to be on the other side. I can eat
Other
and
side,
everything.
Nilanjana,
Exactly.
to add to Rowan, most of them have a personal trainer also on the ground outside, athletic trainer to train them on their sprints and this one. And definitely he puts restriction also on their intakes and keep a tab on them.
Achha, so that's education. In fact, I was not aware of that. That most of them have personal trainers with them. Rowan, you also have a personal trainer with you and your friends?
Yeah, I do. I do have an international athlete, former international athlete, now Southern Railways athletic coach, Mr. P. Haridas with me. So he takes care of my fitness and my training.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. A personal trainer for the referees. Ravi sir, Mr. Rowan had mentioned about the upcoming 80 KMB and SC East Bengal match. You started the show by mentioning that that was the Kolkata Derby was your last match as a referee. What is it to officiate in the Kolkata Derby? That too, which match was it? Was the Kolkata League or any other match?
Dada, for a referee, at least till our times and even till recent times, it's always a great achievement. And see, if you're a local referee, twice in a year, maybe you have to do a Mohun Bagan East Bengal match. Only the best in Calcutta may be getting it. But if it's a tournament like IFA or I League, where the neutral referees come in, it's a big achievement or honor if you're appointed for a Mohun Bagan East Bengal match. As you are aware, it is only 45 is the year when we retire on completion of 45 years. In fact, I did the Federation Cup in 2003 in Calcutta. I thought that was my last tournament as there was no following up. Then suddenly on September, I was called up by AIFF to say there are 3 matches in IFA, the semi-finals and finals. The 4 neutral referees were appointed from outside to do it.
IFA Shield, you mean?
IFA Shield, 2003. And when I was appointed, I think Dinesh Nair, Arjun, I'm not sure about the 4th guy. We were 4 of us there. And when I went in, that was the time when a referee and assistant, we used to do both the jobs. We started specialization in 2011, but in 2003, we did both the jobs. So the moment I went there, being the senior most, I knew I would be getting the finals. But we were not sure it's going to be an East Bengal Mohun Bagan because they were each playing a semi-final. And East Bengal Mohun Bagan finals happened. That day was it, September 28, 2003. So I knew how big pressure it is. Almost 1 lakh, 110 in a 131,000 capacity. Now it's reduced to 59 or 69,000 about the stadium. But that time, and the rivalry was so huge that time that I definitely had jitters in my body. And the thing is, it's you are going to be the luckiest guy if you can do a Mohun Bagan East Bengal match in a Calcutta and come out of it peacefully, in the sense without incidents. So, like Rowan said, the teamwork started. I told my colleagues, you need to be extra careful. extra effort. Don't take anything for guaranteed. Everything is fair and square in a Mohun Bagan East Bengal match. So you have to act accordingly. So they were, and I told them, and my fitness to that level was being stretched because that was my last day of supposed to be a referee. So I said it was stretched. I said, don't worry, today's match will go into extra time. I will take care of the second half and the extra time. You both take care of the first half. That was what was my guidance. They were laughing at me. How can you judge? I said, that is what is experience. And to name it, the match went into extra time. And so if it's going to be a kicks from the penalty mark or a tiebreaker that time, no result better than one team winning. Obviously, one team has to win. And I think Mohun Bagan won that match that day. And one point to note in that match was Albito, I think, came in at 110th minute and 111th minute was his red card. That was one point, maybe the last time a red card was used by me. So it is one point because I saw him blatantly kicking and it happened in front of the East Bengal bench. They also kept their mouths shut. They could not open it because it happened in front of them and I saw it happening. No, and the match went up. And after the end of the match, my senior and my colleague Sumanta came and told me, Ravi, never in history has somebody had a match like this. Please hang up your whistle. Don't do refereeing. From that day till date, I have not officiated in a competitive match after that. Because I thought that highlight better to live when all is good than to be pushed out.
Yeah, definitely. Many people prefer the best prefer to be living it all, leaving out or bowing out all in glory. Definitely, why not? What an experience to be officiating in
The
Kolkata.
pressure for a Mohun Bagan East Bengal match is just uncomparable. But once we go in, I at least become deaf because the moment you talk, you start taking pressure, you had it for good. Your refereeing will get affected. Once you go in, it's only the blue and the gold and yellow playing the maroon and green. Nothing like Mohun Bagan East Bengal. We go by the colors of the team or the colors of the jersey rather than the team or their name. That is what.
And the team,
if you
the
go
team A and the team B.
Yeah, team A and team B. So we normally don't worry about team A, team B as a referee. We worry about the colors. So red striking this side, maroon striking this side. That is what is our approach to the game.
Staying with Kolkata, the VYBK, Mr. Rowan, you have had a very memorable match out there because it was there when the friendly match between Argentina and Venezuela was played, and the man with the whistle was none other than Mr. Arumughan Rowan. The entire Argentine squad, the entire Venezuelan squad, and most importantly, Lionel Messi in that match. Share your experiences. What was it? Officiating the best player in the world.
To be honest, I was not sure that I was officiating. I was about to officiate that game. I was planning to watch the game. In fact, I had applied for my leave from the Indian Air Force where I was working then. I was based in Chennai at that time. And I was planning to watch the game. So I had made my plan to take leave and accommodation I had. Since I had so many friends in Kolkata, I didn't have the problem of accommodation. So 1 week before the 12 days before the game, I received the appointment from AFC stating that I have been assigned as a match official. Then I couldn't believe it was true for some time because it's a big surprise, you are planning for something and you get into it. When you apply for a Ravishankar, you get a passport, you feel, surprised, right? So I got that type of feeling initially. So then I started preparing. My referee assessor for that game was Mr. Ravishankar, here, sitting here. So then 3-4 days, it took 3-4 days for me to realize, yes, this is what I'm going to do after 1 week. So I need to prepare myself. So then it was easy to collect information regarding the Argentina team, Argentina players, because they were all over Europe. But the Venezuelan players' information was very little to obtain because we never knew where they played. Most of them was playing in Latin America itself, which was not very familiar for our Asian or Indian subcontinent. So we worked Ravi sir also helped me to get information. Dinesh Nair, who was a FIFA assistant referee, he also got information regarding the Venezuelan players. And then it was the D-Day when we arrived in Kolkata. We could see all personalities where we could see only in ESPN or Star Sports in studio, right? Shebi Singh, okay, these football experts all live on the Salt Lake, right? So it was like before 2 hours the stadium is filled. Spectators were high energetic, enthusiastic, supporting, waiting for their favorite teams. And I was a bit of fear inside because I don't know what is going to happen inside when I start. As I said before, till the kickoff whistle, I had butterflies in my stomach. I don't know, because there was Frankie, Biplab, and Dinesh with me, Pratap also. So we were together trying to divert the concentration of getting pressurized. Okay, so as soon as the kickoff whistle began, there was no any pressure for me. But the same way, when everyone was very eager to know what would be next, once the game is finished, that becomes history. We want to keep moving, right? We don't want to keep that history in my pocket and walk around. We have to move forward, looking for the new challenges. The same way, but that was one of the memorable matches that I officiated, FIFA friendly matches, and it was a big opportunity for me, and thanks to referees department of AIFF and AIFF as well. And that was the first match of Messi as a captain, and I was part of that.
I was at the media tribune, and there was a very senior reporter, not much into sports. There were all kinds of elite reporters who had dropped in, and someone very casually said, "Who's this referee? Is he from India?" I said, "Yeah, he's from India." "Oh, is he a good referee?" "Definitely a very good referee." I remember that conversation with that elite gentleman who's a very elite journalist, and a lifestyle journalist, not much into football, who had come in to cover that match and watch that match. Ravi sir, moving to you, Indian referees officiating international matches. Rowan, you were there, the referees assistant. Rowan was there with this Argentina versus Venezuela match, ACL matches, FIFA World Cup matches. How good are Indian referees? People keep on asking this. How good are Indian referees?
I would say we can rate them on equal par with definitely most of the Asian countries. Maybe now we are last 3, 4, I think 5 years we are, because those other countries as compared to us had communication system, B flags and all that. Now we are also on level with them. Otherwise, knowledge, we are definitely on par or above them, most of them. Even the medium of communication, English, is better for us as compared to other Asian countries. But again, lack of exposure or more friendly matches, maybe. When we have friendly matches in India, probably we get more chances to do. Otherwise, they go only for competition for international matches. And definitely they are judged by because the referee assessor is always from a neutral country. And the same way, our assessors are developing and helping develop the other country. Our assessors also go as evaluators for other referees.
Ravi sir, the FIFA panel, there's been quite an immense new faces coming into the FIFA panel. If you could let everyone know, how many FIFA panel referees do we have in India at the moment?
Nilanjan, the number of referees in a FIFA panel is decided by FIFA. Okay, they have so many considerations as the countries, level of football, etc., on it. So for India, it is a quota of 6 FIFA referees, 8 assistant referees in men, and 2 referees and 2 women assistant referees. So total we have 6 plus 8, 14, plus 4 in women, 18 of them. And previously till last year, it was almost like the fitness was the main criteria. And normally the FIFA entry age level, they agree anywhere after 25 until 45. Normally, it takes for a referee to be 30, 31 when he comes into the FIFA level, because he needs to have experience to handle matches. So that is how it come. But now last 1 or 2 years, we've also taken an evaluation on the referee's performance in the local domestic matches, how his contribution is, what are his efforts, all everything is put up before the referees committee, and a long, in fact, you would be surprised to know we had a 5-hour meeting this time to decide on the FIFA panel referee. A long discussion, every member given every statistics about what the referee did, what are the matches he last, how, and the referees have also been told what are the criteria. They need to do minimum 20 matches in the season, minimum have to have a 8.2 score in every match. Once or twice, maybe a skip may be allowed, but his average at the end of the season is to be there. And if FIFA says 10 round of fitness to be run, we have prescribed them 12 rounds. We have told them, since you're all FIFA referees, you need to do something extra special to be counted among the topmost 18 in a 130 crore population. And it's a honor to be holding the badge than to be given a gift of a badge. And they need to earn the badge. It is not that it is given as a right. They need to earn the FIFA badge, because it is a very, 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 prized possession to have a FIFA badge and officiating at a higher level both. So and gradually our referees are improving. If you see, you and I had officiated in the under 17 World Cup.
I was coming to that, in fact. Carry on, Ravis. I was coming to that. Carry on.
Almost, we were sure that our trio would be there in the under 17 World Cup to be held in India in February. But because at the Asia, because even the Asia, they have a consideration of selecting referees. And our referee Ranjita had done very well in the Asian Championship, and she's almost rated number 1 or 2 in Asia on that level. So we thought our trio should be in this time. Hopefully it will work out, and we will have an Indian representation in the under 17 Women's World Cup too, is what is my aspiration now.
But just interrupting, Ravi sir, means just needed to bring forward this point that refereeing in India is not just about male referees alone. In fact, we should even take pride from the achievements of our women referees, shouldn't we?
100%. Women referees at the top, they're doing well. We have got the second FIFA referee coming in. I am for sure, due to the COVID this year, we did not have the selection for the Asian elite for the women. But I am sure she would walk through with her fitness, and she would be, Kanika would be doing a better job. And comparatively, she would come up faster. And with the IWL also coming in, they get more chances. And our target, one of the target for the women, I've already offered them to run the men's fitness test to be able to do the I-League matches. So they are also apt to taking the challenge, because only consideration is they need to pass the higher level of men's fitness test to officiate in that. And I'm sure they have the quality to do men's matches as such. And more so, Data, since you're telling regarding only referees, even assistant referees. And last 4 years or 5 years, we are into refereeing as a profession. In fact, AIFF, if you see, have got on their panel 4 referees and 4 assistant referees. On the professional level, they sign a contract with AIFF that they are available 365 days for refereeing. So that is also a big matter of raising our level to reach the next level, so that we can match other countries in Asia to have refereeing as a profession being taken up. Maybe due to the other constraints, we are having a quota of only 8. Maybe we raise the level of refereeing standard. Maybe we increase that also, put more money into professional referee.
Indian football moving forward together. Mr. Rowan, coming to you, I had earlier mentioned that obviously we know that you have been part of many elite international matches. Under the COVID bubble in the AFC Champions League, ACL, how was life different for a referee? We have heard about players, we had heard about coaches in the COVID bubble. Not much from the referee's point of view. How was life different? Means what were the new things that you had to adapt to as a referee?
Yeah, the bubble sphere is a new way of adapting to anything. You need to be extremely disciplined to be in a bubble, right? So you cannot get exposure to other aspects apart from the refereeing or football fraternity. Even to the football fraternity, when you enter the stadium, you interact with the rest of the people who are associated closely with the organizing or the participants with the teams. Like apart from that, you cannot be exposed to any other aspect except your fraternity. So it is just like a bubble. You have been taken care like a small infant, a 6-month-old infant, not to get infected, and it needs utmost discipline for that. You because just organizing is not enough. You being a part of it, you need to cooperate with the organizers and administrators to get that successful. Okay, so what we experienced was just the hotel room, training field, and the match field. Only these areas we were escorted. Even walking, a small walk after dinner was not permitted in Qatar because they were taking utmost care of us because to run the show very successfully. So we were confined. It is rather wrong to say confined because that brings negative perspective in the conversation. But to be extremely top level discipline is the utmost requirement to be in a bubble. So you don't
Quite
have
a unique
to,
experience.
yes. So you don't have to interact with the outside world. Only your
Totally.
fraternity. That is the thing.
Exactly, totally within your fraternity. Ravi
Yeah.
sir, coming to you, I've heard that there have been um, introduction of referee coaches to coach referees, elite referees, about to help about their development. So a coach coaching a referee, what is it? Could you educate? That's quite novel, in fact.
Nilanjan, that is one of the greatest step we have taken towards improving the refereeing standard. Normally, the basic understanding, the season course for 6, 7, 8 months, including all the tournament, the Santosh Trophy, the age level tournaments and all that. And 4 months almost, they are kept idle. The referees are idle, except for people who are taking personal interest into it. But then now we, like every team has a coach, even the refereeing team is a team, what Rowan said. So what we thought, have a coach who monitors them. Actually, the referee assessor for a game just monitors that game or the performance of the referee, the assistant referees, and the fourth official in that game, the four. But now that the refereeing coach is come, he he has a certain, suppose there are presuming there are 20 top referees, and the coaches are given 10 referees under their care. The coach will evaluate the referee's performance, only the referee's performance. Suppose Rowan is under me, I am the coach. I evaluate Rowan's performance for the game. Okay. Suppose it is a third or fourth game, I compare his performance to the earlier games to see what about his, whether his fitness is improved, whether his positioning is improved, or whether he has taken the points what I have referred to him in the earlier match, whether he's taken, tried to note that I have asked him to advise, whether he's following my advice. The thing is, so he's monitored through the season by one single individual, so that all these flaws is that they have a one-to-one interaction. The he gets a bit personal, also knowing whether he's got any mental pressure or he's got any family problem, everything, so that he can open out. And feeling from the coach, we also in the department get a feedback, since he belongs to the department, as to, oh, Rowan requires a break, he's got some issues, 15 days, 20 days. So that is how, and comparative statement, where then assessor says one game, maybe he gets to see Rowan next month, another game. But this coach sees every Rowan's game in a month, compares it, keeps us a record of everything, so that even the referee department at any point of time comes to know as to what has been Rowan's performance, or if his performance is a bit low, what has been the cost of the performance being low, or if the coach has been proper or trains him properly, maybe the level of uh, Rowan's performance increases. That is a, since it's a new concept, maybe it'll take time to develop, but it's a worthwhile concept where we have invested into it, that we develop refereeing to the next stage, or they go out into Champions League final round matches.
Where did you get this concept from? Where did you bring this from, Ravi sir?
Nilanjana, actually, if you see in ISL matches, last, if I'm not mistaken, 2, 3 years or 4 years, there have been PGMOL coaches coming in from London. They come for, there are two or three of them come every year, 15 days period. They do about 6, 7 matches, and they individually submit a report to the department, referees department, which is shared with the referees. And it was a worthwhile concept in the sense they would, with video cuttings, give the referee, and if they advise, they will show supporting documents as to this is the place where you could have done better with this way. There was never a criticism. There was always a positive points and what could be done better. And all the reports were shared with referees, and we could definitely see the referees improve on based on the coaching report. Even though every referee, if they were lucky, they would have got a second match with the same and the best thing about that angle was, suppose 15 days A comes and goes, the next 15 days the same reports are shared with the next one who is coming, the coach. So he compares it with the earlier coaches' reports also. So we ultimately come to know who is on the upper trend, how they could be. That also put thoughts into our mind, and maybe with our planning and strategy, we thought it was worthwhile trying and going into this.
Very impressive. That's forward planning. That's strategic planning. Indian football moving forward together. Mr. Rowan, the last question. In fact, this friend, philosopher, and guide with a personal touch. How beneficial has this been? The coach coming in.
Yeah, as the refereeing coach, in fact, is just like a, what you say, it's not a teacher-children relation, right? It's just like a mentor. Okay, this is like a friendly way of communicating to the referees what is required, how to get it done, and to be at the right place at the right time to get the things done, right? So these things, maybe today my concept is different, the next day another referee assessor come, as Ravi sir said, is different. So my idea and the other person who is coming have difference of opinion for the same incident or same situation. But whereas a referee coach, he monitors the referee's performance, maybe the whole season, starting from match 1 to match 10. He has the whole record. He has the whole advice, what has been given to the referees, that specific referee. What are the weaker points? What is the strong points? What is his mental setup? How he prepares? So these all things can is easily available with a refereeing coach. Any point of time, if anyone seeks information regarding a particular referee, the referee coach will be able to give a much better idea, much better data than the referee assessor who are coming for a particular game. So the referee coach will be associated with the referee for a longer time, will be like an elder brother, like a mentor. So they will have a more cordial relation than the referee assessor who is coming. So once you have a cordial relation, you have a friendly relation, you share everything, you have a much better idea of who I am or who the referee is. So that is easy to work out. Maybe the referee assessor might not be knowing what shortcomings I am going through on that particular day or particular period. Whereas the referee coach who is sitting maybe thousands of kilometers away might not have an exact idea of what I'm going through. So that is the difference what makes a referee coach and a referee assessor for a particular game.
That's so nice to hear personal touches coming in. That brings us to the end of the conversation. I need to thank Ravi sir, Mr. Ravishankar Jayaraman, Director, Referees, All India Football Federation, and Mr. Arumughan Rowan for joining us, sharing all your valuable inputs with us. The season has already kicked off with the Hero I-League qualifiers. The Hero Indian Super League is all set to kick off some days from now, and followed by the Hero I-League later on. Good luck on that, and thank you both of you, gentlemen. Means a lot. Thank you for joining us, and
My
to
pleasure.
all friends, the pleasure is entirely ours. And to all friends, the followers and fans, do keep watching AIFF TV. We will be back next week again very soon. Until then, stay safe. Happy Diwali to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nilanjan. See you. Bye.